Welcome to Learn Psychology series. Today we are discussing the psychodynamic approach. Sigmund Freud. He used hypnosis to treat people with physical and emotional problems. He also introduced free association, a method in which a person is asked to openly share all the thoughts, feelings, and ideas that come to her or his mind. Freud also used dream analysis, believing that dreams showcase symbolism that the subconscious mind uses to represent repressed desires. He analyzed errors to understand the internal functioning of the mind. Freud believed that slips of the tongue, misreading, and forgetting of resolutions are related to unconscious mental processes. 3 levels of consciousness. The first level is conscious, which includes the thoughts, feelings, and actions of which people are aware. The second level is preconscious, which includes mental activity of which people may become aware only if they attend to it closely. The third level is unconscious, which includes mental activity that people are unaware of. Unconscious. It is a reservoir of instinctive or animal drives. It also stores all ideas and wishes that are concealed from conscious awareness, perhaps, because they lead to psychological conflicts. Most of these arise from sexual desires which cannot be expressed openly and therefore are repressed. Unsuccessful resolution of conflicts results in abnormal behavior. Jokes and dreams provide us with a means to approach the unconscious. Freud developed a therapeutic procedure, called psychoanalysis. The basic goal of psychoanalytic therapy is to bring the repressed unconscious materials to consciousness, thereby helping people to live in a more self-aware and integrated manner. Structure of personality. It consists of id, ego, and superego. They reside in the unconscious as forces, and they can be inferred from the ways people behave. ID. It is the source of a person's instinctual energy. It deals with immediate gratification of primitive needs, sexual desires, and aggressive impulses. It operates on the pleasure principle, which assumes that people seek pleasure and try to avoid pain. Freud considered much of a person's instinctual energy to be sexual, and the rest as aggressive. ID does not care for moral values, society, or other individuals. Ego. It grows out of id, and seeks to satisfy an individual's instinctual needs in accordance with reality. It works by the reality principle. The ego is patient, reasonable, and works by the reality principle. Superego. It is the moral branch of mental functioning. The relative strength of the id, ego, and superego determines each person's stability. Life instinct and death instinct. The instinctual life force that energizes the id is called libido. It works on the pleasure principle, and seeks immediate gratification. The ego deals with anxiety and largely determines how people behave. The ego defends against the awareness of the instinctual needs. Thus, the defense mechanism is a way of reducing anxiety by distorting reality. People who use these mechanisms to such an extent that reality is truly distorted develop various forms of maladjustment. Ego defense mechanisms. These include repression, projection, denial, reaction formation, and rationalization. The defense mechanism is a way for the ego to deal with the uncomfortable feelings produced by anxiety. The claim that projection reduces anxiety and stress has not found support in several studies. Repression. Unaware of that wish or desire. Thus, when a person says, "I do not know why I did that," some repressed feeling or desire is expressing itself. Projection. People attribute their own traits to others. Thus, a person who has strong aggressive tendencies may see other people as acting in an excessively aggressive way towards her, him. Denial. Totally refuses to accept reality. Reaction formation. Opposite to her, his true feelings. A person with strong sexual urges, who channels her, his energy into religious fervor, presents a classical example of reaction formation. Rationalization. Person tries to make unreasonable feelings or behaviors seem reasonable and acceptable. Buys a set of new pens after doing poorly in an examination. He may try to rationalize her, his behavior by asserting, "I will do much better with these pens." Stages of personality development. Freud claims that the core aspects of personality are established early, remain stable throughout life, and can be changed only with great difficulty. He proposed a 5-stage theory of personality, also called psychosexual development. These stages include the oral stage, anal stage, phallic stage, latency stage, and genital stage. Oral stage. This is the infant's primary pleasure-seeking center. Activities such as feeding, thumb-sucking, biting, and babbling provide oral gratification. Anal stage. This stage is centered around the bodily functions of urination and defecation. Children derive pleasure from moving their bowels, making the anal area a focus of certain pleasurable feelings. This stage establishes the basis for conflict between the id and the ego, and between the desire for babyish pleasure and the demand for adult, controlled behavior. Phallic stage. During this stage, children realize the differences between males and females. This stage is characterized by the Oedipus complex, which involves love for the mother and hostility towards the father. The Electra complex also comes into play. where a girl tries to symbolically marry her father and raise a family by attaching her love to him. She also begins to identify with her mother and copy her behavior as a means of getting, or sharing in, her father's affection. Latency stage. This stage lasts from around 7 years until puberty. During this time, sexual urges are relatively inactive and are channeled into social or achievement-related activities. Genital stage. This is the stage where a person attains maturity in psychosexual development. People learn to deal with members of the opposite sex in a socially and sexually mature way. However, it may cause fixation to an earlier stage of development. Failure of a child to pass successfully through a stage leads to fixation to that stage. Regression occurs when a person's resolution of problems at any stage of development is less than adequate, leading to a less mature stage of development. Thank you for watching Learn Psychology series. Stay tuned for more videos on psychology.